Welcome to the replay. Did you know that it was the replay? And wait, did you know that it didn't matter? This is what we want to talk about here right now. The fact that you're here, right? You are here because you're part of this community. But the one thing that you may not know, if you have a community, you're thinking of starting a community, there's a couple of things. There's 3 ways that you could just lose the vibe in that community. There's 3 ways. I mean, there is more, but I'm going to talk about the 3 ways that you might just lose that vibe in your community. You know the feeling when everything seemed to be going good, you had a lot of interaction, people were talking, things were happening, moving and grooving, if you will. And then all of a sudden, it seems like, well, it's never all of a sudden, first of all, but I'll say it, all of a sudden you look around and it's gotten really quiet and you're wondering, what the heck? How did this even happen? When did we go silent? What's the dealio? Right? And you wonder, is this the way it's going to have to be? What did I do? I can't get this thing restarted. I don't even know where to turn. Nope. Don't even worry about it. We're going to address it tonight. Dun, dun, dun. I'm Nancy Lewis Hill, the Lightened Up Entrepreneur, and I come along heart-centered entrepreneurs, business owners, just like you, so that you can find and connect to your joy and have more joy in your life so that you can make that positive impact in the world, in your business, in your relationship. So that's the world, right? That you were designed to do. And we're going to break this down tonight. We're going to talk about these 3 ways that the vibe can be gone from your community, but it's not a done deal. It's not all over and done. Let's just get into that. Are you with me on this? All right. I am going to make sure that we stay on track here because I'm going to be quick about this tonight. Couple of things here. If you get a tip that you really like, you can do hashtag Nancy tip. Just drop a hashtag Nancy tip when you hear something that's something you hadn't heard before. Even if you've heard it before and you said, oh, I kind of forgot about that one. So go ahead and give us that. Here it is. Hashtag Nancy tip. And of course, if you're getting value from this, go ahead and let somebody else know about it. Don't need to keep this to yourself. My goodness. All right. You ready? Are you ready for this? I am. I'm so ready for this. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Sherry? Hey, Angel, good to see you. Looking amazing. Well, I'll take that. I'll take looking amazing. So let's go through this. So you got your community, right? And you can sense that something is just not jiving and it's just starting to go downhill or something's just not connecting. People aren't, I don't know, you're just not getting that feeling, that loving feeling, right? That's going on. Wait, thank you very much. Don't keep the valuable secrets secret. I mean, come on, right? Help a sister out, as they say. Well, let's jump into it. Are you ready for this? Number 1, allowing the Wild West attendee. What? What does that even mean? Okay. We've all been in this situation before. I know that you have because I have. And I know that I'm special, but I'm not that special. I know that this is something we've all encountered at one time or another. So it's the Wild West attendee. So you have a group. Everything's great. Everyone's talking. I'm going to compare this to like a real life party situation, right? A real life gathering. Everybody's getting along, doing their thing, mingling, all that stuff. And then as we're ready to like kind of move on and maybe shift out of the room, somebody jumps in and says, hey, I have a spectacular thing to offer, just $5.99, and you can be with me and we can work together forever. And everybody says, who is that? What was that about? And what the thing is, that'll suck the vibe right out of a room, man. Things could be going great, and suddenly these people will start to feel like, yeah, I need to go home. I need to check the caulking in my bathtub to make sure it's not leaking. I just realized I've got cucumbers to grind or something, right? Anything but listen to any more of this. Like, what is that? Has it happened to you? Have you been in that situation where, that if you're that attendee, here's the thing. I'm going to start with that first of all. If you are that attendee, that first of all, is that a surprise to you? I'm just curious. Does that surprise you that allowing the Wild West attendee can be one of the reasons why your community is losing its vibe? Ugh. Here's the thing about it, though. It's not a hopeless case. It really isn't. Hopefully, you're getting the right people into your community. You're bringing the right people into your group. Whether it's a product or service that you may have done or given or sold, whatever, and everybody liked it. The people who have come on board had something in common that they wanted to be in your group, right? Understood. But every once in a while, you're going to get some people who misunderstand maybe the nuances. So if you are that person, I'm going to encourage you right now. If you're on a group call, if you're gathered together in a group situation, look around. If nobody else's microphone is unmuted, don't unmute yours. That's first tip for attendees. Just be aware. Observe. If everybody else is talking, then I guess it's okay. But if everybody else is typing in the chat, type in the chat. Now, as a group owner, what can you do? You can do something. You can step in. You can, because you can tell somebody, hey, I'm assuming that we've set up our groups. Let me just set this right after too. I'm assuming that what we're talking about is a community and a group where we decided that we're going to meet as people. We're not going to sell each other things. We're not going to pounce on each other as though, oh my gosh, I have a pond full of goldfish and I'm a shark that just got dropped in and oh man. So I'm assuming that you've set up that kind of a group and community because you're heart-centered and that's why you're here. So what do? There's a whole lot of tactics you can do, but just quite simply as the leader, you can let that person know directly that I need to mute you for just a moment because what I'm asking for is whatever it is. There's nothing wrong with saying that, and saying it gently but firmly lets the person know that, oh, wow, I was not aware, because sometimes they just are not. You have to understand that not everybody is socially aware, right? There's a myriad of reasons why people might not be aware. I wouldn't think that everyone who does that has nefarious reasons for doing it. No one's being underhanded. Oh my goodness. I love you guys. All right. I got to interrupt with some of these things for just a moment because, we got the Nancy tip. Don't let allowing the Wild West attendee giddy up. I like the cowboy hat. It wasn't mic your, it's mute your mic is what it was if you need to. And yes, baby shark. Do. We don't need to be a shark in the goldfish pond. It's a community. My goodness, it's not a fishing pool. Ease up. All right. So ditch your pitch. If you are in a group, a community that's gathered to be people, and it says right in the front that we're not going to sell to each other, one, I would hope that the community leader, moderator, admin also adheres to it so that, it's the integrity is there for that, right? You got to ditch the pitch, as they say. Just ditch the pitch and just be you. Have relationships and allow it to happen. So be observant. And when somebody asks you to put stuff in the chat, not to talk, just do it. Because I'll tell you, nothing will, if you're the community leader, hear me thoroughly, nothing will stifle your community's engagement and feeling of security faster than having somebody running wild like the Wild West. And it could be all cap guns that are popping off, but still, it's the idea that they just stop popping off. Not what I came here for, right? Right. And let me get in, have that hard conversation. Exactly. And keep it light and presume positive intent. Did I say all that? I think I did. That was exactly what I meant. Right on, Karen. Corinne is like spot on with that, by the way. If you guys missed what I was saying, Corinne's there. She's got it. So, yeah. And the thing, if we don't address it, if you don't address it openly and firmly and gently and kindly, what ends up happening is there's an undercurrent that goes on that we are going to talk about. I'll talk about that in private in trainings, but not here. I won't get into that. But that's what happens. The grumblings start. And we don't want that. We want that person to feel included and loved, if they just might not be aware, right? Hey, so moving along. Don't make it, ready? All about you, and your product. It can't be all about you, and your product. It cannot be all about you and your product. Did you get that? It cannot be all about you and your product or your service or your thing. It can't be. That's not a community. Get that? It is not a community when everything that's happening in there, all the conversation in there is wrapped around, I'm singing it again, you. It cannot be all wrapped around you and what you bring to the table. The only time that works is if someone has paid the price of admission to see a show. They came to see that specific thing, nothing more. But once you have a community, you want to be able to have a give and take. You want to be able to give and receive, right? That's what it's all about. So when you are in there, you have to make sure that it isn't all about you and all about your product and all about your service and all about your next best thing and all of that. How about this? You want the solution to that one? Because that will kill your community vibe. It will kill your community. I'm going to take this banner down for a sec. It will kill your community vibe if you make it all about you and your service product. So what can you do? Quick, right off the top of my head, you can help them get more out of what you've already given. How's that one? You can help them get more out of what has already been given in the community or given by you. Perhaps you've created a community of people based on something that you've delivered or attended. And so if you could deliver or help them to maximize what they've already invested time and money, energy into, you've got advocates, friend. You've got advocates, and that's what you want in a community anyways, is you want a bunch of advocates. You want people that actually enjoy each other, enjoy you, enjoy being in the room, enjoy being part of it. And every once in a while being able to say, how did I miss that the first time? Right. So it's about the community. It's about each other. That's just how that thing works. So you can post, you can make posts about your product news, your up and coming things and all that. But instead of trying to sell in the community, just help them to get more value. Help them get more value. So there's a Nancy tip. Yes, it can't be about you and your product all the time. I mean, it's going to be about you and your product, your service at some point, because that's why people are there. But it doesn't have to be about it all the time. But there are other things people need. Like say you have an HR community, right? Just for an example, you have a community of HR professionals because you presented something about human resource strategies and how to best manage something, whatever, about human resources, right? That community of all you talk about is your amazing software for human resources, your amazing spreadsheets. After a while, it's like, all right, I've heard this all before. I have no reason to be here. But if you start to provide other things for them, like, what are the best envelopes that you use for the best postage and availability or gumminess or whatever it is, right? It's one more thing that they need to go with your product or service. Isn't that the way? Isn't that the win? It is. Don't even question it. just like Mornings with the Moose community. Yes. Thanks for the tip, Tim. But building the community where people are connected. And in the mornings, in our free group, Lighten Up with Miss Nancy, what we do is we have a Mornings with the Moose where we get together, and it's just a gathering at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. By the way, by the by, this is not a sell, my friend, not a sell, my dear boy, but it's a morning get together where we catch up on things and we hear about each other, what's on each other's minds, what's on each other's plates, so to speak. Even literally, I suppose I would want to know what's on somebody's breakfast plate. But we're in there to connect. And if someone were to sell something or blatantly sell something in that group, I would step in and just gently remind them, I know you're excited. I know you've got something great to offer. Let's see how we can do this differently. Let's not be pitchy. Ditch the pitch. So it's not going to be about my product. It's not going to be about my service. It's going to be about each other and what I can deliver and then expand upon. Okay. So enough on that one. You guys ready for yeah. The Mornings with the Moose is so refreshing. Thank you. Yeah. And bring the donuts. All right. So the Musketeers, we're starting to call them. So first one I wonder if you were surprised about was the Wild West attendee. The second one is not to make it all about you, because that doesn't work that way. Whoop. And then the third one, are you ready for the third one? Let's bring it up. Let's bring the third one. It's a song, by the way. The third one is based on a song in my head. You ready? Bringing it up. You've lost that love and feeling. All right, so what is that about? Other than I'm not a great singer. Sorry, I brought my best singing voice. But the third one, surprise, surprise. One of the ways that you could be killing the vibe in your community is you've lost the loving feeling. It's not fun for you anymore. It's become a thing that you have to maintain. It's become a thing that you have to think of things to be creative with. And maybe you're over moderating. Maybe you thought it would be a good idea to have a community because someone told you should have a community, and you threw all kinds of people in there and didn't have a strategy. Maybe you thought it would be, if they love my product, all I have to do is tell them more and more about it. Maybe I'll just throw them into the big pool and I won't pay attention to the fact that there's sharks in the pool. I don't know. Maybe it's a big, heavy burden. Maybe that's a heavy load to have a community. What? To have a community that you actually have to tend to. I get it. There are ways to get around that. There are ways. We talked about a couple of them here. You can step in and try any of those. And maybe, just maybe the third one is you need to find a way to reconnect with your joy. Maybe it's not your forte to spend your time in your group all the time, answering every question, commenting on every single thing. Because then what happens is it does still become all about you. You're the one answering all the things. There's no real interaction going on between people. The relationships aren't being built. So maybe because you've lost the love and feeling, it's starting to show. That one's a tough one. Surprise. Because you haven't stopped loving your community. You probably haven't stopped loving the whole idea of it. But somewhere along the line, the joy just kind of went out the window with that guy. And what can you do? You can reverse it. You can go do some things that make you feel good, make you feel happy, make you feel light. If you can rejuvenate the way you feel, Honestly, the way you feel inside, if you can rejuvenate that energy, it will pour out into your community. That's one way. You can just reconnect with the joy that way. You could do things that are more fun in your community. Or you could connect with a community strategist like myself, where I could work with you and help you with the strategies within your community, but also to help you reconnect to that joy. Because when you've got the joy of what you're doing, the strategy in your community becomes a breeze. It really does. So those were my tips for today. You guys are good. Oh my goodness, look at this. We get Nancy tips all over the place. Alana, I didn't see you come in here. Look at me, jaw drop. Awesome. It's good to see you. My goodness, it was good to have Corinne and now Alana. This is awesome. All right, so ready for a speedy recap? I'm gonna hold on here, folks. Okay, you guys ready? Speedy recap. Give me a hashtag speedy. I don't know. Give me a hashtag anything. Just let me know if we're ready for a speedy recap. Dun, dun, dun. I need music for this. What do you think? What do you guys think about that down there? I thought that was kind of good. I like the little live, and I called it chatting instead of talk show. But what do we got? Let me see what I got here. I got dot Speedy. I love it. You snuck in. Oh my goodness! I'm so glad. I'm so glad you set the alarm and then you came in. That's awesome. How can we get a consult? How do you get a consult? You know what you do? You reach out to me. I can set up a bot, and I will set up a bot over time. I have got a bot lined up, but I haven't put it into play. I don't know. I'm resistant to it. I don't know. I actually like the bot idea. But for now, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation, because that's how it all starts. We have to have a conversation. Just saying. You do? You like it? Very good. Very good. Very good. Do you keep pushing what? Instead of a hashtag? Oh, I see it. That's okay. Sherry. Hashtag speedy. All right. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Ready? That's supposed to be the pay attention class. Pay attention. I know. I got to stop laughing. Ready? When you think you've sucked the vibe out of your tribe, when it's just gone kaput and there's no pizzazz left in there. There are 3 ways that you could possibly have really taken the vibe out of your tribe. Taking the zip out of your zippity doo-dah in your group. One of them is to allow those Wild West attendees. They come in, Buffalo Bill, bucking Bronco come in, and that just takes everything right out of the vibe of the tribe, out of the steam, out of the team. That's one. The second way. 2, when you make it all about you, and your product, you don't take the time to allow it to be an expansion of what you have already brought, a deeper connection to what you have already delivered and what people in your community are already there for. And the third way that you can lose the vibe is you've lost the loving feeling. So, with those 3 things, we have offered up a few ways that you can switch it up, fix the problem. It's not a forever thing. You can reverse the way it is within your group. There are definite tactics, there are definite strategies that need to be taken care of. But if you've lost the loving feeling, or you're feeling just a little bit heavy about any of what you're doing with your business, with your mission, with your goals, that your big old goal that you want to have happen, but it just isn't happening for you. You just don't have the joy somehow. And you want to get that connection. You want to get the community strategist ideas to make these things work in your community. reach out. Send me a message. We'll talk. In the meantime, if you also want to connect to your joy and want to have a little joy in your life, some little bit lightening up, I am inviting you. Yes, I am inviting you to be part of our free group. It is private, so the whole world isn't watching everything, and it is free, which means it isn't because you paid for a program with me. How do you like that one? Lighten Up with Miss Nancy. I will drop the link in here afterwards. I invite you on over, and just know that right now we are doing Mornings with the Moose. It is 7:30 a.m. till 8 a.m. Eastern, and it's just a virtual, it's a drop-in, stop-by virtual coffee shop, so to speak, or a water cooler chit-chat where we catch up and we're just people together. We're a great tribe of people, a great cluster of humans, and just being ourselves and connecting. And when the network happens that way, that is the best. That's the best community you can possibly have. It's a fabulous community, and I welcome you to check us out. And yes, it was definitely a Nancy tip to do a recap. So, all right. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. And when you're coming back and watching this again on the rerun, because you know what? You liked it so much, you said, let me come back. You can always drop in more comments because I do come back and have conversations with everybody. So you matter to me. I'm glad you're here. And yes, it is so much fun on the Mornings with the Moose. And no obligation to stay for the whole half hour. It is seriously, it's a drop in, stop by, and all that stuff. So when will we be back? I figure we're going to be back here. I don't know. What do you think? I think it's going to be next Thursday, 9:30 p.m. And actually, if you want to see what goes on with Mornings with the Moose, tomorrow is Friday, and we call that Friendly Fridays. And what we do is we take the Mornings with the Moose out of the private group and we move it onto this exact business page, and we will have a conversation there, and you can see what it's like and what it's about. So I welcome you to that as well. So many offers, my goodness. I love how you show up as well, Alana. And I hope put the tips to use. Let me know if you're wondering if you're the person. Are you the attendee? Are you the Wild West person? If you think you might be, I can also talk to you about that as well. So, all right. So until next week, for me and the Moose, we're definitely going to have to, what do you think? I think we're out of here. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.